Hey, Central Families, it's Mr. Mihalik here, and we have Miss Sokol here. Hi, Miss Sokol.
Good morning, Central.
So we're recording a Zoom today for you to talk about the reopening of school and getting back to business. So we're excited about that. We've learned a lot from this last spring, and we're going to take what we've learned and we're going to try to make the start of this school year the best we can. We've got amazing teachers and people that are excited to help you and get you going on the school year. So there's a lot to talk about. So what are we going to talk about first, Ms. Sokol?
Well, one of the big questions a lot of our families have is what will our student schedule look like? What will we be expecting from our students and families?
Right. So the district put out a reopening plan. Ms. Sokol, do you want to put that up on the screen for a minute?
Sure can.
So in the reopening plan, the school district had some sample schedules for elementary students and middle school and high school students. And those are just sample schedules. And I know a lot of the parents are really concerned about that their young kids are going to be online all day. Remote learning will have some online components to it. So she's showing you the back to school guide and she's scrolling down, and this can be found on the school district website, and it has a lot of information in there. But she's going to show you a sample schedule district calendar that shows we start on September 8th. That's been moved back. Originally, we were on the 2nd, but we're on the 8th. So this is a sample schedule for K2, and your child's schedule could look like this. And it's overwhelming to think that a kid would be online all day, but we want to reassure you that teachers are going to be creating schedules that have a mix of direct instruction with the whole class, small group instruction with smaller students, and then there will also be some independent work time. And most of that will happen through Google Classroom and Zoom. And your individual teacher will be contacting you within the next week or so to give you information about how to do that. So with that being said, there will be some online work that's going to need to be done, but it won't all be online. And we don't anticipate kids needing to be on all day, and hopefully not for more than 30, 40 minutes at a time. There's going to be breaks built in, lunch breaks, recess time built in. So that's what we're thinking about for scheduling. When we come back as a staff, we're going to be working on those schedules, and there will also be some flexible time built in for the teachers to work with families in the evening hours, or there will also be some open times for students and parents to get help. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm thinking. So Ms. Sokol, what would a parent do to help their student if they were at work all day and their student didn't have a lot of access to the computer during the school day? What would that look like for that family?
So we want to reassure families that we know that we have many working families and parents who leave the home. I'm one of those parents for my own children who will be at home learning while I'm at school working. So our teachers also recognize that, and they are working really hard to create schedules that have opportunities for live lessons and opportunities for lessons that will be recorded that families can access later in the day. There will also be opportunities for independent work time for our families. All of the live lessons will also be recorded, and teachers will post those onto the Google Classroom so that families can access those later in the day or on the weekend or at a time that works best for them with their students. Again, we really recognize that our families are, each family has a unique situation, and our teachers are going to work really hard to connect with our families to ensure that all of our kids are getting what they need.
So Ms. Sokol, we learned from last spring that some of our students struggled with getting help during remote teaching, and some of our populations, like students that have Title App support, ELL support, students with IEPs, they need extra help and support during this time. So what are we going to do differently this fall that we weren't able to do as well in the spring? How's that going to look different here at Central this year?
So I think that one of the really most important things that we've built into our schedules is time for our staff and time for our teachers to connect with families. So if your student is on an IEP, an individualized education plan, you can expect that that teacher will be contacting families to hold an IEP meeting, and together that team will determine what that student's schedule will look like, what their learning goals will be, and when are times during the day and the week that they will be served by their classroom teacher and their special education teacher. Our students who are served by Title and LAP, those teachers will also be working with families, and they will be supporting students through small group work or one-on-one Zoom meetings. So they will have live instruction with students. They may also have some independent work that's specifically designed for students at their level. If your student is served by our English language learner program, that those teachers will also be communicating and connecting with families to find times that work to serve those students throughout the school day in small group or one-on-one settings. And I think the most important thing for our families to remember is reach out to us. Email your teacher, call your school, email Mr. Mihalik or myself, and we will work with you to support your student. We want to make sure that this is a successful experience for all of our students.
So Ms. Sokol, did I hear you right that instruction's going to be recorded by the teachers so the families can view it more than one time if they need to, or they can access that later in the day perhaps?
Yeah, so that's a really great thing. All of the instruction is going to be recorded for families to access. So even if your kid was able to participate in the live classroom, but when it comes time for that independent work and they can't quite remember what they need to do, you can access that lesson with them and support them, or they can rewatch it on their own as many times as they need. And if at the end they're still lost and don't understand, or you're unsure of how to support them, reach out to your teachers for extra support.
And our goal is to engage every child. And one of the adjustments we're making this fall is that our teachers are going to be taking attendance for a day, actually the following morning, because we know there are different needs out there for kids and families. And if your child's not able to get on the live teaching, but they may be able to access Google Classroom or watch the teaching later in the day, there will be a way for them to show that they've been engaged that day, and attendance will actually be taken the following morning. So that's a nice change that we've made. Our goal is to engage every student. Obviously, like Ms. Sokol said, you'd probably contact your teacher first for learning questions. School type questions, you'd contact one of us, or our office staff is here on the regular office hours pretty much from here on out. And also, if you're having family needs or support for your student or your family, Mrs. Eilers, our counselor, is always available to support you with that. If you're having technology questions or needs, Ms. Brooke Howell, our library tech teacher, is going to be reaching out and trying to help you with that. So those are some key people here that are here to help you. So if you don't have a laptop, we are still able to check out Chromebooks, and we know some of you didn't return it last year, but we are going to be opening up the school for Chromebook checkout starting August 31st through September 4th during regular office hours. I think 9 to 3. We're going to be sending out some more information about that, but Chromebooks will be able to be checked out at that time. Also, if you check the district webpage, there's information there about how you can request a hotspot for your student if you don't have strong internet connection. You can see there's information about meals on there. There we go. So if you go to the school district website, there's information there. You can contact our tech department and request a hotspot. So you'd fill this form out and they would work with you to get those checked out. So, and those hotspots are actually good for more than one. They can actually accommodate up to 15 students at a time. So if you have questions about the technology, you can call us here at the office, but we are planning Chromebook checkouts August 31st through September 4th. And obviously you can request a hotspot through the website.
Mr. Mihalik, I wanted to go back really quickly. You mentioned Miss Eilers. Mrs. Eilers is our school counselor, and she is still going to be working full-time serving our students during the school closure. She plans to hold small groups with some kids in social emotional learning. And that's another resource that our families have. If you have a kiddo who's really struggling for any reason, reach out to their classroom teacher and they can help put you in contact with Miss Eilers.
Awesome. So some of you who are on here are going to be a Central student for a first time, or you have Central students for the first time. Some of you are returning students, but we're guessing some of you know students and families that are trying to decide how to register, and they're wanting to register so they can get signed up for school. So Ms. Sokol, if you know someone that needs to register, what would that process look like for them? How do they get signed up to start school at Central?
So in the past, you would have come to the Central office and registered your kiddo. Unfortunately, we're not able to offer in-person registration at this time. But if you visit our Cedar Woolley School District webpage, you will see an icon for student enrollment, and you just follow the instructions and fill out the form to enroll your student at Central Elementary. Even though we're not going to be able to offer in-person learning at this time, our kindergarten teachers are still holding screening meetings with individual students and families, and also during the first week of school. So September 8th through September 10th, they are going to be meeting in person or online if your family chooses, with each individual family to really establish a strong connection with our family and our incoming kindergartners. We know how critical this kindergarten year is, and any opportunity we can take to get to know our families better is going to serve both of us. So if you're an incoming kindergartner or a parent, you will still be you'll still have an opportunity to come into the school and meet individually with your student, and your teacher will be contacting you to set up those appointments. The first day of kindergarten is September 11th. So 1st through 6th grade will start on September 8th, and our kindergarten will start on September 11th. And that's to give our kindergarten team an opportunity to meet all of their families individually.
So in the past, we've posted our class lists on the door the Wednesday before school has started, and we're still going to be doing that. But this year we find that it's really more important to contact our families earlier. So even before those lists are posted on the door, your family is going to be contacted by your child's teacher. So it's going to be hard for you to wait to find out who your teacher is, but be patient, and that teacher will contact you at least before the week that school starts. So stay patient with that. We also, after you know who your teacher is going to be, we're planning a back to school activity where you can do a drive-by. We're thinking about evening hours, and we'll put information out to you about that at a later date. But just know that there's going to be an opportunity to get some instructional materials, to wave hi at your teacher, not a lot of close interaction because we still have to practice social distancing rules and wear face coverings and all of that. You know, we're kind of all in this together. The sooner we can get this thing handled, the sooner we're all going to be back together in person. So we've covered a lot of information. And Ms. Sokol, can you think of anything else we want to say before we wrap up?
Just that we miss our students. We cannot wait to welcome you back into our building. But as long as we're online learning, we're going to do our best to support you. And communication with us and your classroom teacher is really the most important thing.
So we know we probably missed some of your important questions. We just tried to anticipate what some of you might be asking. So if you have more questions, contact us here at the school. We're here pretty much every day during regular hours. You can also email us. We tried to do a little bit to help ease your mind, make you feel good about school starting. We're really excited about it. I miss the kids. I miss seeing the staff around here, but I'm excited to get things going. And we hope you've had a happy, healthy, safe summer, and we're excited to engage with you in one way or the other.
Thanks.
Bye.